Today's episode is brought to you by Audible. Get a free audiobook download and a 30-day free trial at www.anxietydiariespodcast.com/audible. Hello and welcome to Anxiety Diaries, a weekly podcast about mental health, incredible people, and so much more. I'm your host, Scott Neumeier, and this is episode 24. If you like what you hear, please make sure you subscribe, rate and review the show on Apple Podcasts if possible, and share it with a friend. Today on the podcast, we have Adam Caton Holland. He's a national touring headliner who was named one of 25 comics to watch by Esquire magazine and one of 10 comics to watch by Variety. Along with his cohorts in the Grawlix comedy troupe, Adam created, writes, and stars in True TV's Those Who Can't. He has appeared on Conan, The Late Late Show with James Corden, Happy Endings, Deadbeat, Flophouse, Hidden America, and many more shows. He was also featured on the Nerdist and Comedy Bang Bang podcasts. Caton Holland has performed at the Montreal Just for Laughs, South by Southwest, and Bridgetown Comedy Festivals, and helms his own comedy extravaganza in Denver, the High Plains Comedy Festival. He has also performed at the Kennedy Center and Carnegie Hall. He has 3 albums, I Don't Know If I Happy, Backyards, and Adam Caton Holland Performs His Signature Bits, all available on iTunes. And his first book, Tragedy Plus Time, is in stores now from Touchstone Books. He once threw out the opening pitch at a Colorado Rockies game, and people have described him as genial and with decent teeth. I cannot confirm that he does in fact have decent teeth, but I can confirm that he's on the podcast this week. We talked about many different things, including his excellent new book, Tragedy Plus Time, his late sister Lydia, the state of comedy today, and we even talk a little bit about birdwatching. It's a really interesting conversation. Adam's a great guy, and he has a lot to say. That's what we're going to talk about today. So without further ado, here is Adam. Welcome to the podcast, Adam. Thank you so much for being here.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Your new book is heartbreakingly great, and I appreciate you chatting about it a little bit. For those who may not already know, can you tell us a little bit about you and the book?
Yeah, the book's called Tragedy Plus Time, and I'm a stand-up comic and writer and I guess actor, though I hate saying that. And it's the book is a memoir about my life and my life with my little sister, Lydia, who took her own life 6 years ago. And that was obviously devastating for me and my family. And it's kind of about growing up and finding my sense of humor alongside my sister and then losing her right when a lot of really good career stuff was happening and trying to reconcile everything and not throw in the towel. That's what the book's about.
You know, I'm sure you've done probably a bunch of interviews already for this release, but I assume not many people have asked you about Lydia herself. Tell me about Lydia. I mean, from the book, she seems like a beautiful person, but I'd want to hear from you.
Yeah, no, I love that question. I mean, Lydia was like a co-conspirator. Like, I don't have anyone. I'm married and I love, my wife is great and I'm close with my older sister, but like, I would geek out with Lydia about things. You know what I mean? It's like that friend that you could just unabashedly obsess about stuff with. And that was our whole life. Like, I mean, from when we were kids, it'd be, cartoons and TV shows. And when we were in our early 20s, it was the White Stripes. And I remember like learning about the musician Bon Iver. And I was like, you got to listen to this dude. And she would be like, oh my God. And most people are waiting for their turn to speak. And she would just kind of go down the rabbit hole with you. And I don't know, that's what I miss most about her is like when I find something new and I want to share it, no one gets it like she would have gotten it, And I feel like those people are gifts in your life.
You can tell from the book too. I mean, it really does seem like she was like your buddy. She was your little buddy.
Totally. We always shared music. So like I was late to the game on the band Built to Spill. I didn't know about them in the early 90s, late 90s. Now they're like my absolute favorite band. And I was like, oh my God, I want to show Lydia Built to Spill. I was like, that's the sound of our life. But yeah, I don't have that anymore.
Is that the kind of stuff you think about when you're listening to that? Like, is that what comes across your mind?
Well, they have a sort of model and sound that I just am intrigued by. But yeah, often a movie or, anything, I feel bummed I can't share it with her. And also, I feel bummed that I can't relate to someone like that on that level because I want to geek out further than anyone wants to geek out. But I'm, in my late 30s. It's not as acceptable anymore to go to your like high school buddy and be like, oh my God, you've got to hear this album. Like, but I could do that with my sister and it was never anything to like be ashamed of.